Okay. Just gonna be out here working, getting a bunch of pots prepped or trays prepped and filled to provide more seedlings today. There's a couple of 72 cell trays done up. Find a place to start stacking these things. And we'll try to get them all filled up later today. Okay. I should be able to get 3 more out of this, hopefully. I'm going to make some more dirt. Alright, so we got 3 trays prepped so far. Now we'll mix more dirt. Trays out of here. garden soil plus compost that I make half and half. And I mix that with my cutting mix, which is 75%, or no, 50% perlite, 50% peat. Chunky bits just go back in for the larger plots. Now we'll go grab the cutting mix and add that to it. Some more stuff out of the way. And then mix this. And normally at this point I would add a little bit of organic plant food in there, but I'm out right now, so we're just going to do it like this and I'll feed them later. Alright, I guess we'll do a tray fill with the large cells. Thinking about putting these larger plants or cell trays with a couple different cabbages in each one to make little like cabbage variety packs this year. Alright, that's 4 trays done. Alright, do one more tray of the big ones for now. And then I'll go grab some plants and I'll start dividing them. I just put them in and kind of shake them. I don't pack it in tight or anything. Pretty much today, all of these trays I'm doing are going to be for brassicas. Ones that Kiki started, sent me like 500 or 600 starts the other day, so I try to get those all planted up. gives us 5 trays to work with. That should be enough to get something started. Get these bugs off. Dirt for a little bit. Alright, let's get some seedlings and I'll get set up to start doing the dividing. Oops. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to respond. I don't know how. Oh. Well, thank you for watching my videos. And I don't know how to type on this thing because I've not done this before. Alright, well, thank you for watching. I'm going to learn more about YouTube. I barely know how to upload videos. My teenage son has taught me how to do this much so far. So, I will learn more as I go. Alright, just setting up a space and I'll move the phone in just a second and sit down to start dividing up these plants. Alright, and this is what we're going to be working on. Let's see where I'm going to set things. That should be good, I guess. For this part. Holding the trays. Let's see, we're not going to start with the big ones. Those we'll put last. And we'll start with these guys here, which is a 72 cell tray. And I'll figure out which one of these we're going to do. I'll be right back, guys. Alright. I can't find my little marker I use as a dibbler. Alright, that's a tray for holding the little seedlings when I pull them out. Alright. So I will start dividing these. I know there's supposed to be a way to access this from this phone to to be able to see your messages, so I can leave that phone over there. But I haven't figured out how to do it yet. Wait, hold on. I think I might have. Oh, look at that. Alright, we're going to leave that one sit there, and we'll figure out which one of these we're going to start with. What's this one? Turn that noise off so that y'all don't hear that going back and forth. Gold acre cabbage. I don't think I've actually grown that before. I know I've done green acre and red acre. I did both of those last year. This is the hardest part, is getting these leaves apart without shredding them, because they just love to cling to each other. I just kind of like lightly poke at them with this little sprinkler I got grabbed off the table. Alright, so we're going to set these back over here. And what I do is I start by taking off the bottom piece here that's just thick roots, where they've all gotten to the bottom to get the water. We're not going to actually unmat those, so I just pinch those off right away. Throw that back into the soil box. And then I try and make them into workable chunks. And again, this separating them is complicated. This like feels like trying to comb through 1990s hair that's had way too much White Rain hairspray in it. Break this down one more time. Not all of these are going to live. I'm going to break some of them up just trying to get the leaves apart. I will break stems, but the majority will live. Okay. Now I've got that into about a quarter of the plug that we originally started with, and then I'm just going to kind of start massaging these apart, and then I'll pull them up one at a time. Way over here. Thank you. You too. We're all loved. Let's see. There we go. And I try and get like one little clump apart at a time. Like that one, the stem's broke. I'll probably still try to plant it, because most of the time, as long as it's still a little bit intact, you're good to go. I just make a little hole. I kind of leave the roots on top and push the stem down in. Use the roots to follow it. And then they'll be just like that. Because I want to kind of plant them a lot closer to the ground than they were, or to the soil level. Because they were getting a little leggy being in these containers so long. It's not so much that they were fighting for light. It's that they were fighting, well, they were fighting for light, but they were fighting each other for the light, and each one was trying to get taller than its neighbor so it could get better sunlight. So we're just going to get these guys separated out, and they won't have to compete for the resources anymore. And it actually goes pretty quick. Like I said, the hardest part is getting them apart. Sometimes I have my 18-year-old who'll come over and help me do it, but he's been busy being a teenager lately, so I haven't had him help me in a couple months out here. trays done. Trying to stick over there. Alright. I have to pull them apart. Oh, that one's no good. That's a maybe. And that's a maybe. We're done. I'll lose my table in a minute. I'm going to have to get another bucket for that. Right forward the side now. And these are all gold acre cabbage. Oh, there's a lupus seed. That thing will grow anywhere. Alright, let me get something else to hold this. Yeah. Okay, 5-gallon buckets, best tables out there. This over. Alright, we almost got half the tray done out of that one piece. That goes to show there was a lot of plants in that cell, because this is 72 plants once I get it filled up, so we're almost at 36 right now. But even after this rough transplanting, I expect to have at least 75 to 85% of the plants live and fill up and become nice plugs that'll go into the garden or into larger pots to go ahead and sell and trade. And what you want to do is basically try not to disturb the roots as much as possible. I grab it by the stem or the leaves and just kind of, I make sure it's very wet at the time so they just kind of slide right out of the dirt. And these are started in peat moss and perlite. Sometimes I add a little compost to it. It just depends on what I've had mixed up recently. A lot of times I just use whatever's laying around. There we go. Okay, so I've got about half of the ones out of that individual cell that are separated now. I'm going to try and get them planted, and hopefully this will fill up the tray. That'll be pretty cool. And then as far as what I feed them, I usually have a little bit of organic plant food, the Home Depot Vigoro stuff that I'm always using. I usually add a little bit of that to the soil mix before I fill the trays. Like I said, I didn't have it. But I also tend to give them like a nitrogen tea to help them get really started vigorously with the green growth. I make that out of grass clippings and weeds, plant waste, whatever I happen to chop up and throw into a 5-gallon bucket. Cover it with water. I leave it sit out here on the porch, usually about 3 or 4 days. Kind of stir it once a day sometimes I don't. Depends if I get out there or not. And then I don't really strain it. I just scoop from the top of the bucket without the chunks, and I use a 5-gallon bucket of rainwater, and I add about a quart, I would say, of the clipping tea, and then I water the plants with that. I haven't really made it like weaker for the babies. Just the 1 quart per 5 gallons of water is pretty much just what I use, and I feed it to everybody. I have far too many plants to do out different ones for different plants right now. When I get more organized, I can probably do that. Alright, so this isn't going to be enough for this whole tray. I'm going to show you how I plant one with a broken stem. Like, see how this is broken right here? It's not really that big of a deal. I just make the hole a little bit bigger so I don't have to put as much pressure on it. Take that broken part, drop it straight in first, then push the roots in on top, and just like that. Alright, separate some more. These down to 2. This is the most delicate part. Absolutely is the most delicate part. I damage more plants during this than ripping the roots apart. Alright, so let's see. We got 3 trays, so I need 18 more. There's 2, so I need 6 more. Come on, you little bugs. I'll get these all in, and then I'll do one more variety. Oh shoot, took another one down with me. Alright. Oh, no, one more. And that is the first tray of the day. I just kind of shaking it a little, settle them in. You should see some of them are a little bit taller, but they'll be okay. Alright, where am I going to put things? I don't know. So, take these guys. Back into their spot. Get a little dirt to put back in them. Tag back. I know what it is. Alright, let me go grab 2 tags for that. And I'll tell you why in just a second. Okay. So the reason I do the 2 tags is because one of them always manages to fly out, get knocked out. We do have an outside kitty. She tends to chase little things or something, and my tags get knocked out. Then I'm lost. So I put 2 tags on every tray now, just to make sure. Now I gotta figure out where I'm gonna start stacking these until I go clean out the plant area to have a place to set these guys. Alright, what variety to do next? These 72 cell trays are a little flimsy, so I like to set them in there to hold on to them while I work. Where'd my little sprinkler piece go? Just so you know, I have like 10 mini shovels, 10 pairs of pruning shears, 3 pairs of scissors, and I can't ever find any of them because I set stuff down. I'll take them home tonight because I have to go to the farm and take those palm trees out, and I'm going to put some other boxes with that. Yeah, he said he wants to come here and shower first. Whoever showered last night before I went to the toilet did not have the freaking vent thing on because that whole bathroom was so on the counter wall and had it was so. Okay. Found where I set that down. Alright. Next variety is going to be I guess we'll do the red acre cabbage. Of course, these are going to be a real booger to get apart. Kiki, I hope you see this later because you were going to be told later, please. I know I've said go heavy-handed on the seeding, but we can't put this many in one tray. They're just so hard to untangle. Think. Try not to break too many, but they're just getting hard. Alright. And I'm out. Oh. Okay. Okay, so now we'll start dividing these up and see how many we get. These ones are not near as dense, so there's not as many of these. We'll probably get just one tray of these guys. And these are about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks old right now. A little bit early to start, but if you keep them a little bit shaded, especially in the afternoon, it should be alright. It's still been pretty hot, but I don't think it's been in the 90s, at least in probably a week. That's good. Yeah, these are a little easier to do than the last one. So it's because these are not packed as tight, so they come apart. That one's not good. Leaves. Like, you can break off the majority of the roots and be okay, but if you take off the only 2 leaves it has, it's challenging. So that's actually half of the plug on these, and it's not a lot here. This is a much better number, Kiki. These were way easier to work with. And then later today I'm going to set up the hummingbird feeder that was sent to me by Gautier. They wanted me to try it out. I've never tried to do hummingbirds before, so I looked it up and figured out how to make the nectar, which is 1 part sugar to 3 parts water. And then I researched, what kind of hummingbirds. Apparently there's a few of them. There's one that you can see actually all winter long that has residency here, which is cool. And then the others should be migrating. The migration's already started. It's been underway for a little while, I guess, but it ends usually through September and October, so I might be able to catch the tail end of some hummingbirds headed down to South America or Mexico for the winter time. Oh yeah, this isn't going to be very many plants. That was half of the plug, and I got 1, 2, 3 rows, so 24, so probably about 50 plants total in here. The other one had probably like 100 and something. Yeah, this is a much better density. You hear me, Kiki? Start counting them little tiny seeds. 50 seeds per cell. Seems to be a good number. Well, I don't imagine every single one germinated. I don't know though. She's a miracle worker with them seeds. Hopefully she's gonna bring herself over here and grab some seeds for me to get started. Some more fall and winter stuff. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull these apart too at the same time. Some nice strong ones here though. Okay, we'll see how far we get. We got 24 so far. Oh no, we got 18 so far. I thought these were rows of 8. I was wrong. That's in the 128 cents right. Oh, here's a broken one. Again, I'm just going to stick the breakdown in, covered up with the roots. That's all I do. I think I'm going to change things up though after doing this today. Just how much easier it is to work with these deeper, bigger cell trays than the 128 cell tray for doing transplants. I think I'm only going to use those really small cells at this point for seeding. Maybe I'll seed out some like lettuces in there, just drop, like 6 or 8 seeds in each one. And see how that works. Because they're just too small to really, oop, I just heard that branch snap. Hopefully it's alright. It was actually loud enough I could hear it. Some of these, the stem is very firm. Maybe I shouldn't have had them so well watered and so happy and perky. But I really like the soil to be super moist. This way the roots just tease right apart. Stick in there. Okay, this one has a break higher up, so I'm just going to try and get as much down as I can. No, I needed one more plant to make a full barrel. No, I don't have one more. Just one. Oh, look at that. I don't know if it's going to make it. Right there. Oh, I think it's actually not going to make it. It looks like the leaf's broken off. So that is red acre. I'll just put this tag in for now and I'll make another one later. Because we used the whole plug of those. No, I guess there's not much of the all seasons cabbage, so maybe we'll just go ahead and get that out of the way. Alright, so this is all season cabbage and we'll just finish out the tray with it. Hopefully there'll be enough to finish out the tray. That's where we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got a little over half the tray. Oh, guess what? Kiki's on her way over. That means I gotta go look through seeds and see what she's gonna plant. It'll probably take her a little bit to get here. I'm pretty sure she still has to drop the kids off at school. But I'm gonna try and leave this on until then.
Alright, I'm going to get him.
Alright, be safe. Kiki's on her way over.
Huh?
Kiki's coming over, but she'll probably take her a while to get here. I think she still has to drop the kids off.
Alright.
Alright. Well, that one's a bit weak. What's up, birdies? I am not friends with the mockingbirds, but the doves and the little blackbirds, I don't know, starlings or just called blackbirds, I don't know. They're not crows. I have one crow that comes around sometimes, and then there's a little family of conures that hasn't been here since the sunflowers are up right now. I need to probably start some more. There's plenty of time. I don't really even get frost, so there's like, I had a couple days that it was a scare last year, but it turned out to be nothing. I didn't really do anything to protect it. I brought in some baby plants, but that was it. Alright, so this is the all seasons cabbage. I grew a bunch of these last year, but I think I started them way too late, so I barely got them to head up. I did so much better with the, honestly, green acre. That's what I got the most cabbages out of. That and the early Jersey Wakefield, which is like one of those pointy cabbages. I did pretty well with that. I want to try one of those big flat cabbages. I'd like to grow those. I don't know if they grow well in the heat or not. Don't even know what that variety is called. Alright, we might just about get the tray filled up. I hope. Just try to hold them by the stem or the leaves. If there's only 2 leaves, try to be careful not to break them off. These are got sturdy stems. I usually grab them right by the stem. Tomatoes and peppers, I hold them by the leaves. Spin that around a little bit. I do need to start coming out here early in the morning like this more often because I feel like I've accomplished more than I do in a half of a day. Especially being able to be out here in the middle of the porch and not hiding up under the covered area from the sun. Because during the day I come out here to do like 10 minutes of work and then right back up to the other part of the porch and sit under the fan, act like I'm going to die from heat, and 30 minutes later go back out and try again. And then do 10 more minutes of work and have to take a 30-minute break. Whoops. I wasn't keeping track of doing straight lines, and we're not going to have enough to do a whole straight line. So we did. Well, I get almost a tray. Probably one short. I can deal with that. Stuck in here. Seeds sprouting. I'm going to strap in that last spot now. Alright, let me take these over, put them somewhere until I make room again. And I've got like another hour before the sun gets on the porch for me to have to water these in. They'll be alright for a little bit. I'll be right back. I gotta run inside and grab my drink. Oh, it's not. Alright, just so you know, I have you on speakerphone and I am on Facebook or YouTube Live. So, you know.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. No, you're good. Talk. Like, I have a few people that are watching the garden, which is so surprising to me.
I'm on my way.
All right.
I'm on my way.
All right. Well, I am doing these cabbages. I've been dividing stuff up. I got 2 trays, 72 cell trays done already. About to start the 3rd one, and then I'm gonna go through seeds for you. Did you already drop the kids off? Alright. Now I guess we'll start on the collards and the mustard. Okay. I think I like having the mat over here until I get the packets right on. Let's see. Oh wow, this one's already got branching. This is hard right here. Like, I feel like when I had my first kid and was like nervous of hurting him, like that's how I am with these babies, getting them out of these bugs. Alright, yes, this is mustard. Just want to make sure I was right. Alright, I think because there's so many of them, I'm going to go ahead and pop them in 2 per cell. On this side a little bit. Come on, guys. Oh, this is hard. Well, I mean, hard not to break them. Okay. Now I'm going to break this down into quarters, so one more time. Look. Oh no, that's a broken point. I thought I was going to say I found one more red acorn to put in that spot. I guess not. Oh, I said I was going to do these in 2s, didn't I? Alright, I'm just going to start putting them over here. So what should be left after this? Just, collards, and then I'll have some miscellaneous cabbages. Just I'm gonna kind of lump together in larger cell trays and make them like little multi-packs. Oops, this one got 3. Oh well. I'm not gonna undo it now. So let's see, out of this I'm doing 2 per tray. I'll probably get about 50 or 60 plants out of it. So there's probably a good 100 here at least, I would say. Alright, let's pick apart some more. Yeah, that one's probably not okay. I got that. So, I never did find my drink because I heard the phone starting to make noise out here, and I came running back out. Actually, I didn't see it in there. I did start to look. I think it might be out here. Again, something else I've set down and don't know what's at. Alright, that didn't come across too bad. Let's get the smaller pieces. And the nice thing about the 2 per tray is I know I am going to lose some of these, but there'll be at least 1 plant in each cell. And then when I need to double them back up, when I move them up to a 4-inch pot, the ones that only had 1 live, I just double them up and put 2 in pot, and then I've still got 2 each, and no wasted cell trays. The space around here is like a premium because I only have basically the porch, which needs to be more organized. But it's working right at the moment. And that's where this knocks from that switch. Let's get it down close there. Okay. And these are going to grow quick because these already have nice leaves on them. Well, the sun's starting to come up past the house. What time is it? 8:30? Yeah, okay, probably another 30 minutes. So I may have to stop doing separating plants and go make a spot for the ones I've already done before the sun gets them, and then I can do the rest of these up on the shaded porch. this row, and then I'm going to go move those plants because they need to be watered before the sun touches them. Well, I mean, they're not going to be hit with super direct sunlight, but they're still, this is Florida, it is extreme weather. And really, you shouldn't be growing this kind of stuff in 85, 90 degree weather, but water it 3 times a day. I water usually around 7, 11, and then a little touch up around 2 or 3, depending on what time I get out here. For at least all the baby plants that are in cell trays, and 4-inch pots are smaller because they dry out in a matter of hours. Even though I do mulch like starting in the 4-inch pots and the gallon pots, I mulch the crap out of them, but they still dry out easy here. Alright, that's it for that row. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 30, 60 plants, and that's, a little over half the pile. Alright, I'm gonna go grab a towel to wipe my hands off with and move some things around. Probably turn the camera so you guys can see more of the porch while I work. Oh, here's my drink. If you're outside, make sure you drink plenty. Alright, we're gonna go move this. Moving stuff around. $128. These a couple days ago, and you can see most of them will live. But I'm going to start using these very just to do seed starting plugs instead of dividing plugs. So we will move these guys up a little bit on the shelf. I don't know where to put stuff right now. Kiki needs to come over here and take some damn plants home with her. That's for sure. All these were, they definitely need to be planted. Alright. I'm gonna throw that there for now. And let me go see if the water's on yet. No, let me go turn the water on.
Randy left. Randy left the company.
Alright, out. Oh, I just snapped a piece off my tomato plant. Alright, water is on. And I just turn it to a really light mist. And I will soak these. And some of the plants are going to get beat up by the hose spray, even on this light mist. They'll perk back up or they won't. Oh, I didn't put a tag. Yes, I do have a tag on the razor. This takes a little while, but I don't like to put a heavy volume of water down by using a harder spray, so I can put on that plant. See, sometimes the sprayer gets messy. See if I can screen. I'll just pull it further away. And then I will check on these again in like 4 or 5 hours just to make sure that they are still super moist for at least the first day or so. And then I won't keep them as wet because I want the roots to, be healthy and dry and be able to breathe. So for the first day, I really like them to be pretty wet. I'm just going ahead and spraying the rest of the little stuff to make sure that all the babies are taken care of. Oh, I got some Everglades tomatoes there I need to do too, apparently. Alright, so I guess I got room on the bottom shelf for these two. I'll go ahead and stick them over here. I try to keep it covered with the bigger plants, bushier stuff to kind of protect the babies on the bottom shelves. Kind of manufacture my own shade in a full sun environment. Get that other tray back down. Nope. Oh, I'll just stack them on the ground. I can put smaller trays in between. Most of these moringa trees I can bring over here and put them on the list of shit that needs to be transplanted. Ah. One way or another, I have got to make room. These will all go to the 1 gallon pot now. guess I should get these peppers transplanted up. These are all yellow bonnet except for these two on the end here. Those are super chilies. Alright, sun's starting to get over here on the porch, so I am going to take these little babies and get them moved, put them down here on the bottom. Get the most protection. Give them another drink. If you're outside working in the heat, please stay hydrated. I'm not saying that for you guys, I'm saying that to remind myself. Okay. Let me get a tray to hold those because that's flimsy. For those moringa, we can get them out of the way. They don't need to be on the growing table anymore. If only they wanted to come up. Alright, that's 36 more, plus I put, what, 4 trays over there, another 24, so 58 plants. Alright. That makes room for like 3 or 4 more trays. This can all come out because this is planted or composted time. So we had nothing on the Brussels sprouts or the broccoli. The kohlrabies we had quite a few sprouts. I'll get those planted today, probably in one of the bins out there. I don't know, it's time for me to try and take a break from all this. I'm going to stop for now because I got to go prepare some other things. I need to go in the house and get dressed, actually, because I've been out here in my nightgown working since 5 something. So, goodbye to anybody that watched. Thank you all. I love you guys, and I'll possibly be back later or in the morning.